Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joey Sewy, where I talk about sewing, knitting, textiles and life. Today I've reached 1,000 subscribers and I'm super excited. So we are going to do a very quick sewing room tour and of course there's a giveaway. So stay tuned. So I'll tell you about the exciting giveaway at the end of this short video, but I'm going to show you a warts and all sewing room tour. So I haven't tidied up, I haven't moved anything, so this is the state of tidiness that it is, which is fairly tidy. There's work in progress here, it's a room that I share, so you know, this is how you find me, and I will show you around. So the first thing to say is I know how lucky I am. I have a really big sewing room, although it is shared with the rest of the family for other things. But when we moved house to a totally different part of the country about 5 years ago, it was something I insisted on. It's like, okay, this is part of the deal. I get a big craft room. So that's what I have. And I know I am extremely lucky. So let me show you around. So here we go. We're going to start outside the door. And we've got a little sign there, which I believe in Swedish means woodshed, but we went to Sweden a couple of years ago and it was the nearest thing to craft room that I could get. So here is what it looks like when you step in. Yeah, so immediately to your left you have a big chest of drawers. So I have a really big chest of drawers, which we've had for ages. It came from IKEA originally. I've recently tidied up the top of that. But there's still this model here. It's got knitting things in the top and in here, and then in here we've got some wadding, and then this used to be stuffed with fabric. Yeah, it kind of still is stuffed with fabric, but there's toile fabric and stuff under there. Then we've got these two big Billy bookcases from IKEA, and they actually inside have nothing to do with sewing inside them. There's loads of books and lots of yoga things and some paper. So those are our bookshelves. These are glass cabinets. So these ones are decorated very simply because I just have wallpaper and then it is masking taped to the inside. And so far that's held up pretty well because it's been like that for about 3 years and the masking tape hasn't perished or anything. So then carrying on around the room, we have this other Billy bookcase. It's a size they don't make anymore. And that is my fabric stash. So at the top there, we've got things for making little fabric birds and for facings. And then some shelves are better ordered than other. Yeah, there's a bit of a messy one now, just shoved things on. But I've kind of got labels on. When I organised my stash at the start of the year, I labelled things up. So that is that is the entirety of my fabric stash, plus a few little bits for toiling, which are in the chest of drawers I already showed you. Then moving around, we have a couple of tables, also from IKEA. Basically, if IKEA didn't exist, there would be no furniture in this room. It's all from IKEA. So they're both desks. My husband does jigsaws, so there's his jigsaw. And this desk is pretty awesome because I'm going to put you down. Okay, I'm going to show you what this does. You pull this handle out and then it gets, so they don't fall off. So this is a height adjustable desk. And this was a birthday present for me about 2-3 years ago. It also, so it adjusts upwards, it adjusts downwards. It's very marvellous. But what it means is that for cutting out, when someone isn't doing a jigsaw on it, you can make it a really comfortable height. IKEA do also sell electronically adjustable desks, but they were a lot more money. So I got the manual one because I don't need it to be electronic. So normally I have it adjusted to exactly the same height as this one. And this cloth, when I need to cover over the jigsaw and still work, I put the cloth over the top. And that sorts it out just fine and the jigsaw doesn't get disturbed and I don't get divorced. So I've got a really big, it's about 1.6 metres by 1.6 metre cutting table, which is awesome. few sneaky things under there. Some of them are not mine, some of them are to do with cycling. Up there is a TV and a radio and some random books. Just here is the desk, so this is the study for the family as well, so I print stuff out there. There is a lovely garden out there. This is one of my favourite things. This is a mobile from Denmark, and it's lovely. Just hangs in the window for no good reason, just because it's lovely. I have this chair, which is fantastic for hand sewing and also for knitting. It's a rocking chair. It's actually a breastfeeding chair from when I had my babies, but it is the most comfortable chair in the world. It's extremely uncool and not terribly chic, but it's so comfortable that it stays, and it's got a footstool as well. So moving on to the sewing bit. So here is the desk where I actually do all of my sewing, and it's not that big. So we made this desk out of MDF and painted it, and the width there is probably about 1 meter 120 centimeters, and I have all 3 of my sewing machines always out on this desk. It was basically made to fit the space, painted with a Farron ball paint, and then the most cunning thing here is we drilled a couple of holes in so that the wires for the sewing machine can go down and plug in underneath. There's a gigantic bin full of scraps. So above the desk I have some drawers from Muji which have all sorts of stuff in, and I'll give you a tour of those at some point. Then above that I have these Billy wall bookcases. I'm not sure if they still sell them at IKEA, but that is where they came from. And they have things like Velcro and zips, I think, in that one, and thread in that one, and what's in that one? More thread in the top one, and things like, woo, big hand, poppers. And so each box has different things in, and again, this is just a quick tour, so I'll show you more another day. Above there, ribbons and a little bit of some felt and things, and right on the top, some things that I don't use very often. Then we have these cupboards here. Okay, so this is the backdrop to when I film. You may know that if you've seen me film in here, and I will show you inside. So yeah, these doors, I've had a lot of questions about these doors. They are covered in wallpaper. So that's the inside of the door, and it's an IKEA cupboard. Are you surprised? Probably not. And then they're covered in wallpaper, and then they are waxed on top with an Annie Sloan furniture wax, but clear furniture wax, which makes them really durable. You just put them on with wallpaper paste, and I have another cupboard that I'm going to do like that really soon, so I'm planning to do a tutorial on exactly how to do it, but it is the best way of putting something amazing onto a really humdrum cupboard. And this cupboard I got free off, no, not free, it was about 20 quid off eBay, so virtually free, because it's a huge IKEA wardrobe size cupboard. And this one I bought more than 10 years ago, and they didn't match. The size matches because they're both from IKEA, but the finish of them didn't match, and that bothers me because that's what I'm like. So I put wallpaper onto the 2 of them. So this one was just a solid wood door. This one is actually a glass door. So it has a wooden surround, and then it has glass, you can sort of hear that, in the centre, and it worked just as well on the glass door. So what's in my cupboards? Woo! So not much sewing stuff in here, loads of things about paper cutting, which I occasionally do, a guillotine, things about glass fusing. I have done a lot of crafts, and I do occasionally do lots of different things, mostly sewing and knitting, but a microwave because you need that for glass fusing, paper, and my steamer normally lives underneath there. And then here I've got a spare sewing machine, a massive staple gun, batteries, glue gun, tape, glues, laminator, magazines and patterns, which again I'll show you in more detail another day, and more magazines and patterns under there. So that's how I keep those. This big cupboard is more art supplies than it is sewing actually. Pillows and bits and pieces at the top. What's that? Oh yeah, that's more cushion stuffing. Things for upholstery, random craft stuff, things for curtain making, embroidery. And then this is art stuff, paints, watercolours, acrylics, bits of wallpaper. All of this is paper, different kind of stuff. I do origami now and then. So yeah, all of that is paper. Envelopes and wrapping paper there. And then underneath there's some yoga supplies right at the bottom, which some yoga stuff right at the bottom. So this is a really multifunctional room, and actually in terms of storage, the only areas that are really specifically sewing storage are the spot over there that you've already seen above my sewing machine, and then turn all the way around. The cupboards, sorry, the shelves there. That's the only bits that are really specifically sewing storage. And then finally we have another cupboard here, which is where I keep all my sewing books. I have one or two. So that top shelf and this shelf are mainly sewing and craft books. The rest of them are not so much. Again, that is glass with wallpaper behind. And then finally I keep my dressmaker's dummy here. And then just here, this is a IKEA again. What's this for? This is for plastic bag storage, but I keep poles in, so like stuff for curtain making and an old clothes rail because of why? Yeah, because I keep that kind of thing. And that is a real whistle stop tour. Put you back on there. That is a real whistle stop tour of my craft room. I call it craft room rather than sewing room because it's all sorts of stuff. I hope you have enjoyed that. Let's get on to the giveaway. So, giveaway. I've seen lots of YouTubers do this, and I think it's a fantastic way to say thank you to all you people who spend your time watching my videos. I hope you enjoy them. I'm sure I know you don't just watch them to be nice to me. But yeah, I really appreciate the people who've subscribed and the people who watch my videos. And so when I knew I was approaching 1,000 subscribers, which was very exciting, I approached a company that I've sewn some patterns of to see if they would help me reward you, and they said yes, which is marvellous. So Bootstrap Fashions is the company that makes the DIY dress form. So there she is. That's my DIY dress form, and they make those patterns. So you, on their website, I'll do some screenshots, you input your measurements and they email you a PDF pattern of the dress form, but they actually do hundreds of other patterns as well, and they are such good value. Now I have to be honest, I haven't sewn any of the garment patterns. I am about to, and I will be sure to let you know, but I haven't sewn any of the garment patterns, but the dress form worked really well for me, and the garment patterns work on the same basis, and they're about $3.50 each, so they're really good value. Now what you don't get is the best instructions in the world. So I love indie patterns, and one of the reasons I love them is because the instructions are fantastic. Even for someone like me who's a really experienced sewer, the instructions are brilliant, and you don't get that with Bootstrap Fashions. So I have an ambition in the future that I'm going to do some tutorials for the garments that I sew from them, so that you have that kind of instruction when I've worked it out. But the giveaway, I have 2 vouchers for $24 each. So that's 2 people will be able to benefit from this for $24 each. $24 is enough to buy a dress form pattern, but you don't have to buy a dress form pattern. You could buy, oh, quick maths, probably about 8 garment patterns with that $24 voucher. You're not fixed, so go wild. There'll be a link down below so you can go along to the website and have a look at what you would like. I'm going to leave this open for 2 weeks. So it's going to close on the date below. I'm saying the date below because I actually haven't worked out what the date is. So I'm going to leave this open for 2 weeks. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is comment on this video and tell me your favourite video that I've made so far and something that you would like me to do in the future. And then everybody's name will be put into an electronic hat and I will pick them out and we'll work out how to get email addresses and all of that stuff. That's me done for today. I will be back on Saturday. I put up videos every Tuesday, every Saturday. So if you haven't subscribed, I would love you to subscribe. Like the video if you've liked it, click the bell for notifications, and I will see you again really soon. Thanks and bye.